It is possible to translate an existing PSCAD control module into valid C code that can be compiled separately from PSCAD for different purposes, including for running directly on a microcontroller. Chapter 1. Setup. In this example, we have set up a simple module that has 2 inputs and 1 output. This module will calculate the ramp-up over time of the sign of the first input, multiplied by the second input, and added to a previous value. The overall sum can be reset via a parameter in the module. The external inputs and outputs in this simulation are given as a factor of time and slider values. The time of reset can be set via the reset time slider. The multiplication can be set via the gain slider. We can then run the case, which will allow us to see the results of the module based on the slider inputs. Chapter 2. Running the C coder. To convert this module into independent C code that is available to be used outside of PSCAD, you simply need to right-click on the module and select Generate an Independent C code. A dialog will appear that allows you to set the data types that you want to use in your C code. Some hardware that the code might be compiled for only supports certain data types. The dialog will allow you to set the data types to use for integers. By converting all integer types of this control system to either shorts, usually 16-bit on most compilers, ints are usually 32-bit on most compilers, or longs, usually 64-bit on most compilers. By default, PSCAD uses 32-bit integers. The dialog also allows for the selection of floating point value types. By converting all floating point types of this control system to either floats, usually 32-bit on most compilers, doubles, usually 64-bit on most compilers, or long doubles, usually 128-bit on most compilers. By default, PSCAD uses 64-bit double precision floating point values. The dialog also allows for the selection of complex value types. As many C compilers do not support complex numbers, a no complex option is given. The C99 standard complex numbers are also supported for any compiler that fully supports C99 complex types. Some compilers, like the Microsoft Visual C compiler, support complex types using a structure instead of an inherent type. Once the data types are selected, you can hit the OK button and generate your C code. After selecting the OK button, you can find the auto-generated C code by navigating to the current temporary build directory of the case. The auto-generated C code can be found in the 3 folders, headers, libs, and source. Inside the libs folder, 2 files can be found: the pscadlib.h file and the pscadlib.c file. These files contain source code for all C export-enabled components in PSCAD. They contain all of the versions of the function needed to be called for each potential set of data types that may be used. The source code is provided here to allow modification or removal of unneeded code for use with different compilers. The headers folder contains the auto-generated header files for calling the module code. There may be 1 or more files in this directory. 1 file for each module that was compiled for C code, including submodules of the original module. The name of each header file will match the name of the module definition source of the code. The source folder contains the implementation for each module in C. There may be 1 or more files in this directory. 1 file for each module that was compiled for C code, including submodules of the original module. The name of each header file will match the name of the module definition source of the code. Chapter 3. Using auto-generated code. Now that the source code for the module is generated, we now need to use the source code. In this example, we will be using Visual Studio 2022 to compile a program that gets the input from the standard in and pushes the output to the standard out. You will need to ensure that all headers and source code files from the auto-generated code are included in the project to be compiled. Then we can write our program using the code that was auto-generated. Open the example.cpp from the Solution Explorer in Visual Studio. To be able to use the auto-generated code, the main header will need to be included. The main header will be the name of the module definition that was exported, .h. A void pointer, initialized to null, is required for the storage of the application memory. Despite this being a pointer, all memory by default is statically allocated for use in hardware that does not allow for dynamic allocation of memory. The pointer will be assigned internally to the statically allocated structure where all memory for the algorithm is defined the first time the auto-generated code is called. A structure imported from the module header, whose name will be the module definition name _ main, will be required for providing the input to and accepting the output from the auto-generated code. To call the module code first, the input to the module must be assigned in the I/O module. In this example, the I/O is simply read from standard in using the C in command provided by the C++ standard library. After setting the input, the code can be called by simply calling the auto-generated run function, the name of which will always be the module definition name _ run. This function will take in a pointer to the void pointer for storing the application memory, an integer indicating the type of run, and a pointer to the I/O structure for the algorithm. The integer can be one of three values. A 0 indicates that it is a standard run. A 1 indicates that this is the last time step. Complete the time step and clear the memory. A 2 indicates that the last time step already occurred and just clear the memory without running the time step. In this case, we do not know the end time step before running it, so only 0 and 2 are used. If the void pointer is null, then this algorithm will assign it to the statically allocated application storage and initialize all the values for the run. Afterward, it will run the first time step. By default, this algorithm will be running in real time, querying the system clock for the time on each call. After the call to the run, the output can be extracted from the I/O structure that was provided. In this case, the output is simply sent to the standard out using the cout command provided by the C++ standard library. When the application is done, in this case, when it reads a Q value from the standard in, an extra call should be made to the run function to ensure all resources are cleaned up properly. This is done by either passing a 1 or a 2 into the run function for the type of run parameter. In this case, a 2 was used to indicate that another time step should not be run, and the application is complete. If a 1 was provided, an additional time step using the current I/O would be completed before the cleanup occurs. Chapter 4. Modifying the auto-generated code for dynamic allocation. There are circumstances in which dynamic allocation is preferred over static allocation. This can include any time multiple instances of this code would be needed in a single application, or if the hardware supports dynamic allocation but has limits on static allocation. In this case, a simple modification to the auto-generated source code can be made to support dynamic allocation. To support dynamic allocation, simply navigate to the run function. Directly above that function will be a statically allocated structure titled application_memory. This line of code can be removed. Then in the two places using the application memory in the module run can be replaced for the call to malloc, providing the size of the structure. Then add a call to free for the pstate variable in the two places where it is set to null, before it is set to null. With those minor changes to the auto-generated code, the module code is now using dynamic memory instead of static memory and will allow multiple instances of the code to exist at the same time in the application if required. Chapter 5. Limitations. The C coder only supports a select number of components. Only components that have no electrical aspect to them and are purely controls-based are supported. And only components where the mathematics behind the implementation is not proprietary to PSCAD. Within the miscellaneous models, the constant and time components, along with data type conversion components, are supported. Most CSMF components are also supported. However, some of the CSMF components are not supported as they have proprietary implementations or require additional implementation details that cannot be done in a generic way. Some of the not supported components are the PID controller, the discrete wavelet transform, FFT, and harmonic distortion calculator components. To check if a component is supported or not, you can go to the definition of the component. Check if the C script exists in the script section of the component. Drop down the current segment comma box and select C. Chapter 6. Adding custom components to C coder. It may be necessary to include custom components to a module that is planned to be exported using the C coder. Navigate into the module by double-clicking. Right-click on the component and select Edit Definition. It is possible to make these custom components compatible with the C coder by adding an extra script section titled C. Open the Segment Manager and highlight the C section. Select OK. Then switch the current segment to C. This script section contains the code that will be written for this component by the C coder. It uses the standard control directives used in other script sections, including if, else, end if, and case. The directives begin, end begin, top, and bottom are also supportive here and retain their original functionality from the Fortran script sections. This section includes dsdyn and end dsdyn directives for forcing code into the dsdyn function, alongside dsout and end dsout directives for the dsout function. The directive header can be used to indicate that an C include statement for including a header file is required. The directive include can be used for bringing in script section code, complete with other directives and substitutions into the current script section from an external source. The directive local defines a local variable. This directive works mostly the same way as with the Fortran-based script section, except when accessing the local variable, the $sign substitution must be used. The directive stash defines a variable that will persist throughout the execution of the program, used for holding persistent information instead of the storage arrays that are used in the Fortran-based script sections. Like with the local variables, stashed variable must be accessed with the $sign substitution when used inside the script section. Both local and stash directives also support the use of structures with a struct keyword after the directive, followed by the name of the structure to use. It will be the user's job to define this structure in the C code that is included. The directive symbol can be used to define your own substitution to use within the script section. We can now see the output of that component with newly generated code. Right-click on the module and select Generate Independent C Code. The code that is written in the C script section must be written to be inserted into a valid C file. Navigate to the mymodule.c file and select Edit in Notepad++. This means that outside of directives and substitution, all code in this section must be valid C code, including the semicolon at the end of every line of code. The code will automatically be indented when written to the C code files. After defining the C script section, the component should be compatible with the C coder. This has been an overview of the new C coder feature of PSCAD, introduced in version 5.1.0. This feature allows the exporting of modules that use select components in PSCAD to valid C files that can be used in external programs. If you have any additional questions about the C coder feature, please contact the PSCAD support team at support@mhi.ca. Please check out the link in the description.